Hey all, welcome back. So today also a second one from Japan, a Japanese Phantom. This was one that I was looking for quite some time. It's in the turquoise blue color. Yeah, it's used apparently. It came all the way from Japan, but I cannot say much bad about it. It's like almost close to new. So yeah, I'm looking forward to unpacking this with you guys and show you how it's looking. I'm probably gonna put it on its stand. I have a spot in mind for it with some other Japanese Phantoms. So I'm looking forward to putting this together with you guys, and we'll see in a sec. Alrighty, so I had the next package, as I mentioned, from Japan. So I had the JASDF Phantom RF actually, 4EJ. Always really like these teams. They always make the coolest ones in my opinion, together with the Germans. Let's have a look at the colors, because they are quite stunning. This one is going to go on its stand, because I have a spot in mind for it already. I might put it on its wheels, depending on how easy it is to put on there. Because some Phantoms, they are really easy to put on there, and some are not. So let's start with accessories. Everything is still in packaging. So this one doesn't come with any bombs or rockets. It's just empty sprockets. So I'm not sure if I'm going to install those. And of course the correct fuel tanks. So the fuel tanks are mixed color 50%. And then the center fuel tank or the camera pod just in gray. Standard one you're used to, with the two little packs on the front. Full plastic, but still nicely in packaging. No more pin puller, but that's okay. Basic manual. Really nice that they did this. Where do you install what? Optional parts. I'm not sure if they ever did that, but they also used the Phantom one for the photos, which is quite funny. But at least they did something about where does what part go. So at least that they did well. Now I hope it's damage free. I haven't checked it yet. But it looks quite still new. So let's have a look. First at the model itself. So I'm gonna first show you guys the boring side of it. So I had a gray, and mainly why do I show? Because of all the details that are in there. So you guys can see markings, linings. It's really excellent. Engine details are really good. Even a small catch hook still on there. Please be always careful with these little guys because they break way too easy. Nice and clean still. So that's super good. Then we start with the stunning stuff. Now that's the color. Let's start from the beginning. Also, by the way, really careful with these pitos. They're way too sensitive. See, this one is already under a little angle. Not gonna push it any more than this, but yeah. So I had the Danger, Jet and Take logos and so on. The canopy is nicely closing, luckily. Details of the cockpit are really good. I'm gonna open the cockpit up for you guys so you guys can see it. So nice injection handles and screen details, really good. Little antenna on the top. Of course, Woody Woodpecker. But yeah, in general, a very nice colored model. Now, I'm really doubting. I have a mixed silhouette one in my cabinet, and I'm thinking about replacing it for this one, because the mixed silhouette is a glued one. So now I'm doubting, like, which plane should I change with this one? And I'm gonna go with the mixed silhouette one, so I'm gonna put it on his wheels. I hope the wheels are easy to put on. It's not always said that it's easy. So we're gonna need some open wheel sets. Luckily, these are all nice and intact still. That's not always said. Open wheels, open front hatch, and of course the small open rear hatches. Might leave the cockpit open, not sure yet. And of course we're gonna need some pilots. Pilots are the standard color, nice detailed of course, but they're just the standard versions. And I'm gonna maybe put an open canopy on it, not sure yet. Let's have a look how easy this all installs, because I've had ones in the past that were really hard to install. By the way, another thing to pay attention on, these little packs here, they break way too easy, so be really gentle and careful when putting these things together. I usually push with my nail on the bed. If I cannot reach it because it's too tight, I take a little pen to give the little push in. Now luckily this one goes in quite smooth. But as you can see, there's a lot of play in there. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a trick. I have a pen here luckily still. What I usually do, I grab a plastic object and just gently push it in. So you heard that little clicking noise. That's me just pushing it into the metal of the frame. Why? Because these things are way too sensitive. Most of these used, I always see pictures that they are damaged. So I really take your time when installing. Also give it a first push with the finger, just so you know it's in. Keep your finger under the wing, and then gently take a pen and give it a push down. If it doesn't fit properly or it fits loosely, just grab some hobby glue. It always works. So don't start jerking and pushing until it starts to break, because then you'll be sad because you will break this thing. These little guys, sometimes they fit really well, sometimes they fit really horrible. This one luckily fits, the first one. Let's check the next one. Hopefully the same story. But the details are, yeah, simple and straightforward, good. Nothing bad to say about them. It's not always said these fit well, because sometimes you have to shave them off a little bit to make them proper fit. This one, luckily, these two actually fit right away. So our front wheel assembly, these are quite sturdy. Usually I don't have any issues with them, but I've had occasions where it happens that they don't fit well. So first put the wheel in, then the cover, because the cover will also help with pushing it down. So there you have a wheel assembly down. Now you can choose open cockpit modes. So double open cockpit or not. It's a good choice, depending on if the cockpit wants to stay in properly. So this one is what we would call a closed gasket, because it is wobbly. So that sometimes happens. You can heat it up a little bit and expand it so it's a bit more tight. But this one in general is a bit weak, so I'm going to make it a closed cockpit. Which is a bit of a shame, but it happens sometimes, especially when you're older. Let's have a look at ordnance and tanks and some photo camera. So nicely in packaging. It's a used model, that's for sure, but the previous owner was for sure very good with it, because I don't get the impression that it was mangled or anything. So of course the camera pod in the middle. I believe this is the right way to install it. I believe it's the window forward. If not, I'm pretty sure somebody in the comments will share that with me. But that's okay. These tanks always pay a good mind on how installing them. And also keep an eye on your wheels, because hitting the wheels now, it's sorry, it might remove the wheels even now, because if the tanks don't fit properly right away, then I will remove the wheels first, because if I click a wing into a wheel, that's also a waste. It sometimes happens that they don't fit right away because they're quite tight fit. They make these little plastic notches on them, so they have an extra tight squeeze on the metal, which works really well, but you really need to pay attention on it. Luckily this one fits quite okay. There's a little bit of play in it, but not too bad. Let's see the pilots. First one usually fits quite easy, but if it doesn't fit, I leave them usually out, because I don't want to damage anything. It's all expensive enough. And navigator. Especially with my bigger fingers, this is really, really hard. You almost need a set of tweezers to get them in. No, luckily this one goes in quite easy. I can put the glass back on. So there's a little hook on the front of the glass. First the glass front end. Now you can. Alright, so I just stopped quickly with recording just to put the tank on, because it is a bit too hard to focus on filming and putting a tank on this thing. Probably the same with the bomb racks, but then I will just cut short to it. They sometimes fit super easy and sometimes they just fit really horrible. Luckily it's more often good than bad, so that saves me a lot of time. But especially if these things are hanging full with weapons, then it's a nightmare to put together. Alrighty. So there you have it with all the details on it. But it sure is looking stunning. Let me unhook you guys a sec. I'll leave the light on. And I'll put the light over it so you guys can have a proper look. So a very cool looking Phantom for sure. Happy that I finally found one. So this is HA1992, I believe. So if you guys want one, for sure have a look if you can find one. It's well worth the money because it looks really cool. 1992, by the way, not 22. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Thanks again for watching and being patient with me going through this setup, because especially the canopy and the rockets were quite complex today. So yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and hopefully see you next time on the next video. Thank you all.